Hello and welcome to your first tutorial on beginning HTML. Now, if you've watched the first introductory video, we talked about what you needed, and I said all you need is Notepad. So you should go ahead and open up your Notepad now, and that's all you really need to follow this series. And if you have other editors, you can go ahead and use those as well. So in this video, we are going to create our very first web page using HTML. So the very first thing we have to do is tell the web browser what type of file this is. And how we do that is by using the doctype declaration. And we are telling the browser exactly what to open here. Now note, the browser moves from top to down, so the browser moves in a top-down manner. Now the current version of HTML we're using is the HTML5. Now, you don't have to put it in there. No, you don't have to put it in there. So what's nice is if HTML6 or 7, 8, even 9 comes out in the future thereabout, you don't have to come back and change it. You'll be using the HTML current version. So let's create it right here. Now, the very first thing that comes after the doctype declaration is the HTML element, and we create that by typing angle bracket HTML angle bracket close, which goes like this. And if you remember from the first video, this is the opening tag and we need a closing tag that comes with a slash. HTML. This is the opening tag, and here we have the closing tag. This is not a section of our HTML document. It's more like a wrapper. And that means everything in our document will go between the opening tag and the closing tag, which is this, between the opening tag and the closing tag of our HTML element. You should look at it like behind the scenes thing. It's more like starting and ending point that tells the browser where the HTML starts and where the HTML ends. Now, the first real session that comes after the HTML is called the head session. And yes, we need a head tag and a closing tag as well. So let's go over here and include. And then okay. And then we close it as well. Now we've gotten our first real session. All right, so this right here and this right here is called the head element. It's called the head element. Now, the head element contains a lot of information about the web page itself. Now, example like the title of the page. But for now, we're going to put the title element inside our head session. And again, the title element is what shows up in the title bar of the web browser. And we'll see that on this page later. So within our head element, we're going to embed another element like it's called the title element. And right here, we're going to do that right here. The title element is always under the head element. And like we all know, whatever has a beginning also has an end. So we include the closing tag as well. Now we have Now we've got our title element and our title in it, which is my web page in there. All right, let's make this a capital letter. We say we use the body tag. Now this is where all of the actions take place. This is really the heart and soul of your web page, and it needs a closing tag as well. So because we need a closing tag, we will come here and we will add our closing tag. Now this is the primary section of your web page, and pretty much everything that's between these two tags, everything that is between these two tags, yeah, and the body element will show up on your web page, with a few exceptions, of course. Now this title here wouldn't show inside the body element, right? All right, it will display at the menu bar, but everything else would be displayed to the user, will be done within the body element. So now we need to insert something within our body tag. In this tutorial, we're just going to insert some simple headings and some simple text. That's all. Now obviously later on we'll get to images and hyperlinks and lots more. So first thing we need is a heading, and you use the H tag. First thing we do, get the heading as well. Use the H tag, and that is right here. And so we close that tag as well. And what this does is it will create larger text, because this is going to identify a section of our website. So we're going to call this the H1 tag. And now let's insert something in here. Let us say the Pure Empire. Let's call it the Pure Empire website. So let's call it the Pure Empire website. So again, that's the text for our header, which is to say this right here is the text for our header. Now let's create a paragraph to say what this website is all about. And so let's use the P element to create that. Good. There's an opening tag. We also have a closing tag. Now within this paragraph, we would want to say something. And so again, this ending tag says, hey, the paragraph ends here, and it will go on to the next tag, which is actually going to be another header, because we're going to identify another section of this website. The H1 and the H2 header can be used to differentiate between the main headline and also the sub headline. So this is a section on Pure. So this is a section on Pure. So we're going to create a paragraph, and that paragraph we're going to use, you guessed right, we're going to use the P tag. Is opening tag, and you have your closing tag. Now we want to say something under the subheading as a paragraph under the subheading. So Pure is an enterprise with a niche in tech. So let's go now and save this here. Say save as. We go to desktop, and we want to save this as test HTML, right? Save. Now we've successfully saved this. We're going to minimize now, and then we'll be open this. Okay, now we've opened a browser, and this right here is my web page, and this here is your first header, which is the H1, and this here is your paragraph, and also here is your H2, your header 2. So this here is also a paragraph. You can see now this is our very first web page. Later on, I will show you how to upload the files to a web browser, and then you'll be live, and people can actually see this. People can actually see this out on the internet. All right, that's going to do it for this tutorial. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.